welcome back. In today's guide, we're tackling the Breaking Catastrophe version of the mains Bulletin boss fight, Gold in the Cave. This version of the fight brings additional challenges, so we're breaking away from traditional strategies once again, just like in our last guide. Instead of running a dedicated healer, we're capitalizing on the bounty spur characters and their powerful euphoria effects to push through this fight with maximum efficiency. Let's break down the team composition, strategy, and key mechanics you'll need to dominate this boss and achieve the highest score. Team composition and why it works. Conventional wisdom would suggest a damage dealer, 2 supports, and a healer. But thanks to Ann Lee's incredibly strong euphoria effects, constantly granting shields and upgraded incantations, we can bypass the need for a dedicated healer entirely. Plus, the global effect allows us to generate large amounts of self-healing through damage output, making healing unnecessary. For this fight, we're running Lucy as our primary damage dealer, Mercuria for her strong force field and passive damage boosts, Six, who has a natural afflatus advantage and can single-handedly satisfy the boss's negative status conditions, and Ann Lee, whose euphoria effect alternates between team-wide shields and enhanced incantations, making her an essential pick. With this setup, you won't miss a healer at all once you see how well this strategy works in action. Core strategy and battle flow. The general flow of this fight remains similar to the standard mains Bulletin boss version, but execution is key. 1. Use all of your characters' incantations evenly. This ensures they build Moxie together so that all 4 ultimates become available at the same time. 2. Chain your ultimates in a single turn. Each ultimate grants a stacking 30% damage boost to the next, so by the time you activate your 4th ultimate, it will be hitting with nearly double the normal damage output. 3. Ultimate rotation. Start with Lucy. Despite seeming counterintuitive, her ultimate provides powerful buffs to the rest of the team. Follow up with Mercuria and Ann Lee for their offensive and defensive bonuses. Finish with Six. Since his ultimate is a high damage, single target attack, it will fully capitalize on the damage multipliers. This ultimate rotation is the core of the strategy and will be your primary way of dealing damage. Boss-specific mechanics and key priorities. Since most of your team consists of supports, you won't be dealing much direct damage in the early rounds. Use Six's debuff ability on the boss whenever it's available. It's crucial for maximizing damage. Mercuria and Ann Lee's buffs should be prioritized before unleashing ultimates to amplify damage and sustain your team. Lucy is your main damage dealer. Keep her abilities upgraded and use them whenever possible, especially when she's not disarmed. As the fight progresses, Lucy's ramping power will deal significant damage, especially when the boss's minions die. Dealing with the boss's ultimate and shield phase. Like other Breaking Catastrophe events, this boss has a shield phase before its ultimate, which must be broken. If you don't break the shield, the boss will unleash an ultimate that applies powerful control effects, locking you out of using ultimates and abilities. This will quickly spiral into a loss since you won't be able to maintain momentum. Breaking the shield cancels the ultimate, puts the boss into a vulnerable, broken state, and allows you to deal massive damage. If you can time this with your ultimate chain, it's game over for the boss and an easy max score. Final tips and adjustments. If you're struggling to get consistent results, try tweaking your tuning mechanism. I recommend using the starter tuning, since its ability to reshuffle cards helps maintain the even skill usage required for this strategy. Just like in previous guides, small optimizations can make a huge difference in long battles, so don't overlook minor adjustments. That's the core strategy for taking down gold in the cave in Breaking Catastrophe mode. Stick to this setup, use your ultimates correctly, and you'll be hitting max scores in no time. Good luck with the fight, and stay tuned as we continue our deep dive into this event. Alright, let's continue our strategy discussion for Breaking Catastrophe version of Gold in the Cave with a few additional thoughts. Addressing gameplay performance issues. You'll probably notice that my gameplay footage in this video looks a bit choppy. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, this particular battle causes some serious performance issues when recording, leading to lag and desync. While it's not ideal, it doesn't change the core strategy, and I hope the gameplay still serves as a useful reference for players trying to align their approach.
Allow me to double check the battery level.
Anjo Nala's influence on mains Bulletin events. It's no secret that Anjo Nala is the go-to solution for these mains Bulletin bosses. Just like the last two versions of this event, this content is clearly designed with her in mind. If you have her, she makes this battle significantly easier, practically trivializing the challenge. However, this guide is focused on players who either don't have Anjo Nala or simply want to tackle this boss in a more engaging, strategic way. That said, I'd be remiss if I didn't highly recommend summoning her if you haven't already. She's still available for the rest of this update, and I truly believe she's one of the most valuable characters in the game. You don't need high portrait levels, and I wouldn't suggest going all in just for extra copies, but having even one copy will bring immense value to your account. Not only is she incredibly strong for mains Bulletin events, but she's also a dominant force in multiple game modes. And with Bluepoch potentially shifting away from making limited characters as overpowered as she is, there's a chance she will remain one of the strongest units for a long time. For those still deciding whether to pull for her, I personally lost my 50-50 and had to spend over 120 pulls to get her, but I don't regret it for a second. If you're on the fence and have the resources, I strongly encourage getting at least one copy while you can. The future of Euphoria effects. A key takeaway from these last two guides has been the sheer power of Euphoria effects, which allow us to break traditional team-building rules and succeed without a healer. These bounty spur characters are a preview of what's coming, and we won't have to wait long. The first full set of Euphoria abilities is arriving in the next update. I don't want to go into spoilers, but it's worth experimenting with these characters now. They come maxed out, equipped with best-in-slot psychoos, and showcase how game-changing Euphoria effects can be. Even though I didn't feature a bounty spur-only strategy in this video, it's entirely possible to clear this event using only those characters. Once you've secured your maximum score and rewards, take some time to test different bounty spur units. You might discover some hidden synergies that will help you make better decisions when the full Euphoria system arrives. That brings us to the end of this guide. If you found this helpful, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts, especially on these voiceovers. Do they make the guides more useful than just the gameplay recordings? Let me know if you'd like to see more of these in the future. And finally, good luck with your summons and with taking on gold in the cave.
Learn from silence.
The light that illuminates all.
one, boss! It's a tough one, boss! Thunder Talisman Scientific Version! Thunder to me!
Shell. Damage. Thunder. Attack.
Calm down.
Circuits functioning properly.
Like cupping the moon in the palm of my hand.
Chocolate check! 好心子 check!
Time for tongues to speak of truth.
I, Robot, Child of Science.
I am the waves in the ocean and the stars in the sky.
The scale of your soul has tilted. The balance needs to be restored.
Thunder. Attack.
To the right.
Copy that!
The moment of utterance.
Allow me to double check the battery levels.
Listen.
Lily!
Learn from silence.
Aim and shoot.
I know this beat.
It's a tough one, boss!
Charging. Loading. Charging.
Thunder Talisman Scientific Version.
Faraday's Miracle. The light that illuminates all. Aim and shoot. Surface functioning properly.
Like cupping the moon in the palm of my
朱古力
hand.
check， 保鮮紙
Time
check。
for tongues to speak of truth.
I, Robot, Child of Science.
I am the waves in the ocean and the stars in the sky.
The scale of your soul has tilted. The balance needs to be restored.
I know this beat.
It's a tough one, boss.
Time for ears to listen.
Allow me to double check the battery levels.
This'll help.
唔該晒，Lily。
Benefit from reading.
Aim and shoot.
The moment of silence.
easy 啦。
To the left.
Copy that.
The moment of utterance.
Allow me to double check the battery levels.
Listen.
Crackers and fireworks.
Aim and shoot.
Like cupping the moon in the palm of my hand.
朱古力 check， 保鮮紙 check。
Circuits functioning properly.
Time for tongues to speak of truth.
I am the waves in the ocean and the stars in the sky.
I, Robot, child of science.
The scale of your soul has tilted. The balance needs to be restored.
To the left.
It's a tough one, boss.
Time for ears to listen. The moment of silence.
Crackers and fireworks.
Learn from silence.
Faraday's miracle.
Ah!
Allow me to double check the battery levels.
To the right.
Easy 啦。
Allow me to double check the charging.
Regaining control of our bodies.
Breakers and fireworks.
Eliminate target. Target confirmed. Shell damaged. Circuits functioning
I
properly.
cupping the moon in the palm of my hand.
朱古力 check， 保鮮紙 check。
Time for tongues to speak of truth.
I, robot, child of science.
I am the waves in the ocean and the stars in the sky.
The scale of your soul has tilted. The balance needs to be restored. Time for ears to listen.
I know this beat.
Charging. Allow me to double check the battery levels.
Shine.
Faraday's miracle. Barrage.
It's a tough one, boss.
The moment of utterance.
It's a tough one, boss. It's a tough one, boss.
I know this beat.
The moment of silence.
It's a tough one, boss. Crickets and fireworks.
This'll help.
Benefit from reading. Time for ears to listen. Time for ears to listen.
To the right.
Until the torch is lit.
This'll help.